What's going on, trucking junkies? As you can see, we are back on the road, and it was a long morning this morning. Get some fuel, breakfast. Had to fix the top of my tarp. Answer a bunch of comments. As you can see, I went and bought another holder because I'm tired of the audio that's coming out of this thing. Every time I think I'm using the Bluetooth on that thing, it doesn't operate correctly. You never know when it's going to work, when it's not going to work. They could have fixed all that by just putting a stinking 3.5 millimeter jack in the bottom of it. Just like every other stinking phone. And sometimes new technology is not the best technology. So as you see, I bought another holder for my other phone that I was using, and it has a 3.5 millimeter jack on it. So now when I use that phone, I'm using that microphone with that telephone, and I'm going to combine the two. That way I can get some good audio, and it's not jacking everything up again. Ugh, I was so frustrated last night. Oh, so hopefully I'll fix it. It'd just be a little more work for me, but that's okay. Not much work. I spent all my pilot points on the new phone holder. Hopefully it works and keeps the phone where it needs to be. And as you notice, I have them separated. Well, number one, the microphone's in between them, but the other one is you need to see that hood mirror down there. And that phone right next to it would be all in the way, and I don't want that. But we got 618 miles to go. There was a lot of comments yesterday. Answered all of those. And I'm going to talk today about Maverick updates. Going to talk to a recruiter and make sure I get all the information right, and then I'll pass it on to you guys. But in the meantime, let's go. So I don't know what's going on with my PeopleNet. It was working just a few minutes ago, and then it went off and said it was installing Adobe Reader, and now the thing won't come back on. They were doing some updates last night, and I think they've screwed some stuff up. It looks like we're going to be driving into some fog. Lots of it. Ugh. This is right in the mountain area too. Lord. I was up on that hill a while ago, and I could just see it coming right between the two. Look at that. Right between the two hills. This ought to be fun. I may have to call my fleet manager and have him send a flash or something to this PeopleNet. Pain in the butt. But whatever, let's drive. just got off the phone with a recruiter because I wanted to make sure my information was correct before I gave it to you. Come on, baby, get up that hill, buddy. Come on, you can do it. Get on up there. Struggling. All right, so Maverick Academy. Let's talk about that for a minute. All right. Maverick Academy, you do not have to have your physical or your DOT physical or drug screening before you go to Maverick if you're doing when you're hiring on. They're going to do that for you first day you're there. All right. They have a session on Monday mornings, and they do all of that stuff all that morning. Okay, so you don't have to worry about any of that. If you've never had one, if you're a new driver, if you're an experienced driver, if you're coming in, you're not going to the academy, any of that stuff, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. They'll do that for you. All right. Pay. The pay starts out right now at 51 cents a mile when you get out of your trainer truck. All right. While you're in school, if you're taking your CDL class, it is no pay for those 3 weeks, but you get a $570 Visa card to help with any expenses while you're in that class. Okay, so basically they're going to pay you $570 to be in that class. All right, that's what you're going to get paid for those 3 weeks. So you kind of need to build up a little bit of money and plan that out before you come to CDL class. All right, the way I did it was I worked on weekends. I lived close enough to the terminal to where I could go home every night if I wanted to, but I didn't. I stayed there at the dorms. But on the weekends, I went home and I went to work. All right. You just have to log all that time. Once you get your CDL, you have to log all that time. All right. You're supposed to. And then once you get out of CDL class and you got your CDL, when you go to securement, that's when you start getting paid from Maverick. And it's gone up from $600 when I was there to $700 a week. All right, so you're going to be paid $700 a week while you're in securement training, when you're in the trainer truck, and then the last week after the trainer truck before you get your permanent truck, because you got to go back and do some testing and graduation and all that stuff. Then you'll get your truck and you're off on the road, making 51 cents a mile to start, and with a 1 cent bonus for each mile that you drive for the first quarter. All right, once you get out of your training period, which is that first quarter, then you can start accumulating 6 cents a mile like we do. Right, after 3 months of driving solo, you get it goes up to 54 cents a mile. After 6 months, it goes up to 56 cents a mile, and then after 1 year, it goes up to 58 cents a mile. And that is to compensate. They changed that from when I went, and it's to compensate for the raise that they gave us in January, on the first week of January this year. All right. So after 1 year, you'd be making 58 cents a mile plus a 6 cent bonus if you qualify for that. Okay, that's a performance bonus, so you can make anywhere from 0 cents to 6 cents per quarter, depending on how well you perform. All right. Questions I asked her. I asked her if there was a wait time after you get accepted for Maverick, and she said that right now there is a wait time in certain areas. And what you need to understand, and this was one of the questions that was in my comments, what you need to understand is they run lanes, what they call a lane, right? And one lane would be from like what I did this weekend, or this past week. You pick up in Fort Smith, you drive all the way to Michigan, come down to Ohio, maybe go into Kentucky, down to Tennessee, back to Arkansas. Those are lanes, all right? The lanes that we travel, the roads that we travel, you know, highway or Interstate 75, 57, 55, 40, 24, those kind of lanes where all these manufacturers are, where we're taking stuff, all right? And depending on where you live in the country and where you're, you know, where they're going to want to put you in a lane to get you, to possibly get you home every week, if you want to get home every week, then, you know, it'll depend on how many people are applying in that area and where they need drivers, all right? So a driver that lives in, let's just say the east side of Tennessee, where I'm going right now, okay, may have to wait longer than a driver in Arkansas if they've got too many drivers in this east part of Tennessee. You know, it's they want to be able to spread the freight out. They want to be able to service the customer, and they want to be able to make you happy about getting home every week if you want to get home every week. All right, so that constitutes where your wait's going to be. You may wait anywhere from a week to 5 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on how many drivers they need in that area. All right, and that's really all there is to it. I mean, the pay's good. Your trainers are, from what I'm understanding, most of them are pretty good. Mine was really good. And the weekend time, getting home for the weekend, you can't beat it. You know, you want to come to Maverick, come on. You know, call a recruiter. Go to the website. It's like 1833 something, right? So if you want to, I got somebody coming up beside me. I guess these people in this construction area are just going to be, I'm just going to have to go by them. But you know, if you want a good paying job and you don't mind working, hey, come on, get your butt out here. Call a recruiter. Come join us. If there's any more questions that I haven't answered, put them in the comments down below for me. Leave a comment. Ask the question. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And if you want to call a recruiter, the recruiter that I talked to a while ago, her name is Ashley, and she would be great. And she would be a great person to talk to. I've talked to her several times. All right, let's go. All right, people, we are done with our break. Yay! We're gonna head out. I have looked at. It says there's overnight parking there. And I have looked at, well, they just kind of got everybody pigeonholed in here, don't they? I looked at the satellite picture and really couldn't see where parking was. So I gave them a call, and they said, yeah, they've got a pretty good sized warehouse there. Just park out of the way and you can park there. I got about 30 minutes of leeway time to, I guess we'll go out the truck exit. Man, that thing is bright. God dang. Somebody turn the sun off. I'll be heading in the opposite direction here in a minute. But they said just park out of the way. You can park there and be there in the morning. It'll be fine. Yeah, plenty to eat, plenty to drink. Make sure I use the bathroom before I go with her. We'll get this unloaded and get the heck up out. Look, they got snow on the mountain up there. I've passed a bit of snow, but not a lot. You gotta watch those mirrors, that's for sure. And we're gonna get back on the road here, so let's go.